Hi, I am back. Hello. We are going to be using the HTVRONT Auto Tumbler Press today. Fresh out of the box. I'm going to open it with you. So let's get to it. And if at any point you find benefits or you're learning or you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe. Thanks for joining me. Let's get to this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing unboxed. So I opened it, but I haven't even taken it out yet. So inside we have our little HTVRONT product manual, and I did look at this before I hit record. There's a heat plate, an LED screen, and buttons, and it goes on to describe what each button is for. And then over here it tells you how to run the machine. So you power on the machine, you press the power key and turn on the machine, press or set the proper temperature, and then once the start key turns green, so it's going to turn red. The start key is going to be red while the unit is heating up, and then once it's met its temperature, then it's going to turn green, and then you're able to put your mug or tumbler in and then hit the start button. So I did read over that quickly. And now I'm going to take out what's in here. So it comes with this heat resistant tape and a pair of gloves. Now I ordered a pair of gloves that look similar to this from Amazon, and they were no bueno. They did not work, and the little pink on them actually melted. But I'm going to give these a try and see if these hold up and are actually heat resistant. So I'm going to take these out and set those aside, and then I already printed out an image that I want to do a 20-ounce tumbler on from Creative Fabrica, and I will link in the description Creative Fabrica if you're interested in signing up for it. I believe I have an affiliate link where you might even get like a discount or something. It all depends on what time of year. So this is nicely packed in here. Not sure if you can hear my new little Coco, but she is talking in the background. So I'm sorry about little Coco's interruption there in the background. She's getting better though. She's learning, and she's almost 9 months old. Okay, so I'm going to inspect this and make sure that it's looking okay, because if anything's awry, then I am going to have to maybe send it back. I'm already seeing that the cord, the part that should protect the cord in transit, has busted off. So hopefully our cord, the plug, is okay. Okay, so here's what it looks like on its side. And actually, the heat plate itself feels like it's got, behind the heat plate, it feels like squishy. Whereas it's ceramic for the mug press through Cricut. So just different materials to get achieve the same outcome. Interesting. Okay. And then the screen looks almost identical to my HTVRONT Auto Heat Press screen. So the cord isn't super long, so I am not even sure where I'm going to be able to plug this in. Okay, so I've zoomed in a bit here so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to turn it on. Okay, I was holding it a little bit there. So I just barely tapped it and now it's on. Okay, so I want to look, I'm going to be doing a tumbler. I have a PYD Life 20-ounce sublimation tumbler. I am not an affiliate, or like I'm not a paid sponsor. I was not given any of this. I had to purchase my machine as well as my sublimation blanks from PWD Life. However, if I'm able to ever, I will drop affiliate links in the description of my videos so that you can easily go and check out whatever I'm using in my videos and just some of my favorite things that I use. And then if you click on my links, it's no additional cost to you, but it will give me a little bit of a commission. So I appreciate it if you are interested and want to make a purchase, to click a link and make a purchase through my links. Okay, so a stainless steel tumbler is what I'm going to be doing, and it says 120 to 240 seconds, and I'm doing Fahrenheit. I am located in the US, so I'm going to use Fahrenheit for my temperature, but it does offer Fahrenheit and Celsius options. So I'm going to go ahead and set my heat press temperature. So I'm going to hold the temperature button, and then I'm going to oh, it just changed to Celsius. Okay, there we go. So if you hold it for just 1 second, it's going to move up by 5 degrees, and if you hold it for 3 seconds, it'll move up by 10 degrees. So that's one of the things that I read about. And what temperature do I want to be? 370 to 390. Okay. I'm going to go right in the middle, and I'm going to do 380. And then it says 120 seconds, so that's 2 minutes or more. So now I'm going to hit time, and I'm going to go up by 10 on that. I'm going to do 150, and what was the max it said to do on that? 240. Well, let's do a little bit more than that. Let's hit time, and I'm going to hold down the plus button. I'm sorry I can't show you this, but I don't want to hold my machine sideways. Okay, so I'm going to keep it at 220. So 240 is like the max on that. Okay, and then here is, so my machine is going to heat up, and in the meanwhile, here is my PYD Life 20-ounce sublimation tumbler. I don't want my lid to go in, my plastic lid. I don't want that to be melted or compromise that, so I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to clean this. Even though it's fresh out of the package, I'm going to grab my little alcohol spray bottle, and I'm going to clean off the surface of my PYD Life 20-ounce tumbler. Just give it a little spritz. And then the little cloths that come in the infusible ink from Cricut, I save and I use them to wipe off my cups and mugs and surfaces of all kinds when I'm doing projects. Alright, so I'm going to set that aside. That's all ready to go. Now I'm going to take my sublimation print. So you want this to make sure to be nice and dry before you add your design onto it. I actually printed out a basketball 3D image or design from Creative Fabrica. I am going to grab my little Cricut cutter, and I'm going to trim the edge of one of the sides on this. I'm going to use my own heat resistant tape. I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, and then is there a seam in the cup itself? Okay, so on the inside there's a seam. On the inside you can see that seam in the back there. So I'm going to just have that be the back of my mug. So I'm going to do like this. Oh no, I trimmed it down too much. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to have it like that, have the white around the top, because then if I want to with the lid on, I think it'll kind of conceal that. I'm kind of overlapping that. Just want to make sure it matches up at the top. Okay, so now I'm going to put on some heat resistant tape. I'm going to make sure to tape it not just so that it's like holding it in place on the actual mug and it doesn't come unfurled or unraveled. This is George. He's George, my tape dispenser, my heat resistant tape dispenser. Okay, now I'm going to take butcher paper and wrap it around just to protect it. Okay, and I'm just going to slide it in here. Actually, I was thinking it would open up further than it has. There's a little piece of debris in there, which I don't want because that could mess up my pressing. Okay, and now I'm going to hit the start button, which is the little green R. So there's like about an inch on top of, ooh, hello. There's about an inch on top of my tumbler press. So I have like the end pretty close to where you guys can see on this end, but the other side, I'd say there's a good inch on top of my tumbler inside of the press. And I'm not sure if I'm going to let this cook all the way through and then turn it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it cook all the way through and then turn it. And if you can see, it closes much closer than the Cricut mug press. When the Cricut mug press is closed, there's still room for like a handle, a coffee mug handle, as well as on the outside of that. So you're missing about this much-ish of sublimating or infusing ink onto a mug or a tumbler if you do it in a mug press, a Cricut mug press. So there's a gap there that's much greater than this. I mean, this is very minimal. I'm not good with my fractions or guesstimating size there, but I would say that that's pretty, I don't know, maybe a quarter of an inch difference in there. So I will turn this so that it is fully pressing all the way. Okay, so I am going to just slide this out a little bit, and I am going to just kind of rotate my tumbler. I think I'm actually going to just want to make sure it's protected. So I just rotated it a bit. And I'm going to hit the start button again. So since in the manual it's saying like up to 240 seconds, I don't want to do a full on press on this one, especially, so I feel like the heat like travels anyway. So even though that quarter of an inch gap happened, it's still probably sublimated. It just didn't sublimate fully. So I'm not going to do a full 240 seconds on this second press because I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, we'll find out together, that the heat from the metal and from the heat plate did sublimate somewhat in that little area. So I think that's going to be okay. Let's find out. Hopefully you guys know what I mean without me like elaborately trying to explain. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to set my extra little Cricut mat here. This is what I usually stick with my Cricut Joy, or I use it inside of things, inside my HTVRONT Auto Heat Press if I need to lift up if I have seams or zippers or things like that. With this cute little Cricut heat press mat. Okay, we are down to about 75 seconds left on this press. I'm going to go ahead and hit any button and it's going to open the press. I'm just going to hit any button. It's a safety feature on here. And so if you can see the gases, vapors, I need to open my window. It's not really healthy to breathe that in. So I'm going to set this over here to cool off. We're going to let this cool off a little bit. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn my press off and unplug it. Oh, this power button is acting a little funny today. It's not turning off. Okay, I just need to do a quick, just one little press. I'm holding it too long. Even when I feel like I'm not holding it, I'm holding onto that button too long, I think. And I can't even feel heat through these gloves. So these are definitely better than the crap ones that I got from Amazon. So HTVRONT's little gloves that they sent they look just like the ones that I got from Amazon. I mean, look at that. But these melted when I used them and these did not. So these are going in the trash. So really you should like let your items sit for a while until they cool off. But I just really want to peek, see if it needs to be pressed anymore, see how evenly or unevenly it pressed. And because I do purchase these myself and they're not gifted to me as of the filming of this, I don't really want to have errors and mistakes. I'm just chancing it here. It actually doesn't feel that hot right now, which is a little bit concerning. That maybe I did not cook this enough. Oh, I see some ghosting on the end, on the bottom there. I don't know that it's ghosting or I just didn't have it in the heat press all the way enough. Should I press it a little longer? I feel like I should. I'm gonna stick this back in the press and see if it might, at the bottom area, I had it pretty close, and then I was telling you guys there was about an inch above it. So I'm gonna move this in just a little bit further and do a press and see. I gotta turn it back on and see if it helps. Okay, so it turned on right away. I just gotta hit right away. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so now it's gonna heat up. Okay, so I flipped it around and I had it in there for almost a full press again. Woo. I basically stopped the tumbler kind of with, there was an edge for each end. Each end had like a good ½ an inch or so at the end, so that neither end of the tumbler was close to the edge or close to the end of the heat plate. So hopefully that will have pressed the bottom as good as it could have. And you know, plus because I overlapped, you're gonna have like some issues. I had it pretty low down. I did not tape all the way around to make it nice and close either. So that's another recommendation. I only taped in one spot. So had I actually put tape, you know, in several places around here, it'll help snug that on there better. And it may make a difference when you're doing the tumbler press. So just some suggestions. You know, I get a little excited when I try something new, and then all the things I teach you go right out the window. And I don't even listen to my own recommendations. So I'm sure that you guys can relate when you're excited about something and you just kind of brain fart a little bit. But I'm going to let this actually cool down, and I'm going to go ahead and peel back my heat resistant tape. And whether this is successful or not, I am not going to keep the image intact. I'm just going to unfurl it, and whatever the design outcome is what I'm going to have to stick with. We'll also see if me overlapping like that was beneficial or not. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe that'll clean up. Yeah, so the overlapping is probably not the greatest because you're getting part of the image from the other side coming through. So see where I overlapped? You live and learn. Don't do as I did. Make sure that you cut it a lot closer so that you're not overlapping your image like that. Yeah, I think just a little tiny bit of overlap wouldn't be too bad, but I mean, I had like probably an inch or more of overlap, and you can really see that design sublimating through. However, look at the rest of where I sublimated, and then you can see on the top edge there I had trimmed just a little bit too much off. Really, next time I just need to trim one edge, the bottom part. So overall, the heat press works great. And the part at the bottom didn't really change too much. I'm just thinking that it's user error, and I need to, you know, this is a curved edge. I need to use more tape, or I need to leave that white edge on at the bottom so that it's more seamless looking. Overall, heat press worked brilliantly. It worked as expected. I have their other auto press in the background here. I've not had issue with it. I'm happy. I'm really happy. Just, I have to work on my user errors, and I hope that some of the things that I made mistakes on, that you'll not make the same mistakes and learn from me. Until next time, go check out another one of my videos.